back in on the J Prince, the Charleston White, and I'm gonna have another. There's a breaking news on Charleston White. I'm not gonna break it here tonight. I'm gonna break it tonight, but I'm just not gonna break it on this particular live. We're talking about is J Prince dumb enough to put his empire on the line for Charleston White? Would he do that? You see, and it don't seem to be he that damn dumb. I don't believe he would do that. Send somebody to tell, to apologize or some shit like that. What that man gonna do something like that for? That don't even make no damn sense. That he would send somebody. What the fuck is an apology gonna do? And it's already goddamn. You know what I mean? He Charleston White got millions and millions of views going in on Jay Prince. He probably got tens of millions of views going in. So what would one apology do, to erase all of that? The disrespect gonna be up there forever. So if he was gonna pull a stunt like that, he should have been did that. If that bothered him so much, or what Charleston White was saying, he should have did that long time ago. So it don't make no sense. An apology could not, it couldn't suffice for all that disrespect. No way. It couldn't suffice. So I'm quite sure that, that most definitely was a stunt, and that they to get Jay Prince to respond, and I wouldn't even respond. Like, and if it would have been short and sweet. Like, man, I don't know what the hell. Man, I got other shit to do. I'm on the island, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the island with my feet kicked up, man. I just heard somebody, man, I got shit to do. You know, that man too little for me. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. I ain't got no time to be dealing with that shit. Simple as that. That man setting shit up to get views and clickbait. Simple as that. I wouldn't even, because everybody knows nature. Everybody knows nature. But it's so big. It's so big, and everybody, and I'm like, damn, people can't see what's happening right before their eyes. Takeoff, yeah, well, most definitely for takeoff, yeah, yeah, yeah. But and I felt bad for takeoff, and I do believe that Jay Prince, being a boss in Houston, should have had, when somebody come in your town of that caliber, it should be hands off. It should be hands off. Yeah, 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 yeah. It should be hands off. You feel me? And so you supposed to let that you gotta let that be known to the public. And matter of fact, they shouldn't have never carried that boy. They shouldn't have never carried that boy where he would be hurt. Cause from my understanding, they was with his son. They was with his son, and so that right there, he should have been protected. And everybody that's affiliated, see, when you supposed to be around made men. When y'all dealing like that, y'all supposed to be around made men. You ain't supposed to be around motherfuckers that you don't know. Y'all got money and shit, and y'all gambling, and yeah, nigga, but at the same time, y'all supposed to be made men. Ain't nobody worried about losing their life. This is supposed to be an exclusive affair. So it shouldn't have been where, niggas would be beefing and shit. You don't bring beef around money like that. How the fuck you gonna continue to make money? That's that nigga shit. And so yeah, I was upset about the takeoff thing. And is he getting karma back? Is Charleston White, karma for some of that shit? That's allegedly now, but for real, it should have been something, even at the, somebody should have been. I don't know if anybody ever got indicted on that, or I don't know. I don't even remember. I'm gonna go back and check. But at the bare minimum, somebody should have been turned in. Yeah. I don't. I'm not no. I'm not no fan. I'm not no fan neither. Really, real talk. I'm not no fan. And I'm just ain't no telling. Ain't no telling what's going on. Real talk. Ain't no telling what's going on. And so, but while it's out here, this is a lesson to be taught, on both sides, because it very well it could be his karma coming back. It could be his karma coming back on him for the shit that he done. And Charleston White could be a demon, that's come to bring turmoil in the nigga life for what he's done, and both of them, he's that, Charleston White, in other instances, the nigga is garbage. In some instances, he may be the very necessary energy to bring turmoil to a nigga. So I guess what they say is some good and bad I guess in anything, you know. And so in Jay Prince's life, Charleston White might be the motherfucking demon that's coming to torment his ass for a lot of the shit that he very well may have allowed to happen on his watch. And like I say allegedly, because we ain't, but the part about Takeoff, nigga, that's on you. That's on you. You the man of the town. Don't nobody come in my town and do nothing without my permission. That mafioso. You can't come in mafioso area and do shit without their permission. You know what I'm saying? And if you come in mafioso territory and you knock off somebody that wasn't supposed to get knocked off, they knock your ass off. You made an example out of that. We don't allow that shit without our permission. See, that's what happened to when you watch the Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Pesci, when he knocked off that mafioso. You feel me? When he knocked off that mafioso without permission. So they knocked his ass off. Okay? Yeah, they knocked his ass off. And that's how that go. You got to get permission to do shit like that. And so, yeah, he was the hardest. Yeah, he was the hardest out of the three. You feel what I'm saying? And so, that right there just ended Migos. You know, that ended Migos. So, but, again, and so but at the same time, all of that is alleged. It is alleged. And we know niggas in the street. Oh yeah, he talking shit. I done kind of tapped out. You know what I'm saying? Once I prove a point, cause I'm brutal. You know what I'm saying? When I get on something, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfucking Neanderthals can't stomach how I get down. You feel what I'm saying? So, I tap in for a minute, and then something like that. Most definitely, I'm kind of brutal on the establishment. You know what I'm saying? And so Charleston White, man, yeah, it's that age, man. It's a reckoning going on, and people should know that. It's a reckoning going on. Just don't be too emotional. Don't wear it on your sleeve. Don't wear it on your sleeve. Don't let shit, get you in a predicament where it pull you out of your godly senses. You still got to maintain control and harness the emotion. Don't do you could be emotional, you just got to harness it. The emotions is forces that's moving inside of you. If you let them run wild, you see what I'm saying? But if you harness them, They could be a source of energy. You know what I'm saying? You know, you control it. It's almost like the gas. You can go 10 miles, you can go 20 miles. You can go 100 miles if that's what you choose. But, you don't want them to run wild out here. And so, and that's what's happening. People's is too emotional. And I understand emotionalism, but this is not our, it's not our platform. And they waiting, and they know we emotional, and they just want to see which ones is gonna spark that fire. You know what I'm saying? So they can zoom in on your ass and say, yeah, that's one of them. Who is that? Where they at? Where they located? And it's all good. That don't mean don't turn it down, turn it off. Just turn it down when you in the enemy's vision. You know what I'm saying? And then when you outside, you can flame up. You understand? And go into the mind and create whatever need. And you know what I'm saying? When you come back, you turn it down again. You see what I'm saying? You turn it down again. Say Jay Prince ain't about Mr. White took his flag. Say he didn't took his flag. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, family, I appreciate y'all, man. See y'all in a minute. Patreon, General Seti, over 600 exclusive live streams. You want that? Too raw for YouTube. General Seti, Etsy, One Stop, KingSeti.com. I'll be right back, man. We still got some fire, man. Don't go nowhere. If you're up, tune in. Black Power.